Hello there, welcome to Genius Models. My name is Bobby Waldron and welcome to this inbox review. We're going to be taking a look at a brand spanking new tool for 2022. Right, nice and new by Airfix. It is their Avro Anson Mark 1. It is in 1/48 scale. Nice to see a new tool, kind of like a not your average kind of aircraft as well. But it is going to retail at around about the £47 mark. So price might be a little bit over the top maybe, but that's Airfix these days. So let's dive in and let's have a look at what we've got. Do you know what, we'll start off with our clear parts. Now this kit's quite interesting. The aircraft itself seems to have a lot of glass, right, which is kind of cool because it means all this internal detail we can show off, so you can go nuts inside this aircraft and feel good that we've got all this glass, because we're going to have all this along here which then connects to our front end just here. A lot of glass to see inside, and if you look at it, it is looking pretty damn shiny and crystal clear, which in all honesty is kind of above average for Airfix. I will admit I am normally a little bit worried about Airfix's glass, but this one is looking pretty damn spot on when I put it up to the light. So well done Airfix on that. First bit of surface detail, which is actually quite good as well. We do have those recessed panel lines, right? We do have recessed rivet detail, but then we have all this actually really nice rib work that goes on and around this. So I mean, that is gonna look cool. It's gonna get some fancy spraying on that potentially, and that rib work can really sort of nicely come out. It's nicely indented and all that cool stuff. Bit of the bottom fuselage, again, nice bit of rib work, right? The wings, again, the same, all looking pretty damn good. Engine cowls, we do have recessed panel lines and recessed rivets, looking quite consistent at the moment. Right, there we go. So that's the wings. The fuselage, we'll talk about the fuselage in a bit because it's going to be a little bit tricky, but again, we've got that lovely rib work. You can just see on our wings here again the recessed panel line and recessed rivet detail coming up to the nose cone area. Again, pretty nice work going on there. Sorry, that one was my phone. We have the bottom part of our cockpit area, which I don't know, I mean, that feels smooth. I mean, there's something going on now. I mean, that might need a bit of filling and sanding. There is a lot of detail to actually go inside here, right, to potentially cover up some of these areas, but kind of looks like some sort of a little bit of a mold issue in that area just there. We do have some framework going on with all our cockpit. We've got a bit of details going along there, not seeing any sort of major flash going on with any of that, so that's quite cool. As you can see, a lot of framework detail with it. Flip this over, we do have a fair bit of rib work and framework sort of going on the inside, but there is a fair few ejector pin marks, as you can clearly see with that. I don't know how much you might need to take care of this, because I mean, this is the ceiling area, so maybe no need to take care of that. You're not really going to see the ceiling. These walls here are sort of quite far back, so you might be okay not having to take care of that either. Fingers crossed. Couple more sprues here. Now we do have this engine section. This is a duplicate sprue, so there is a second one of them over there. But yes, we have engine detail, which you can sort of see some pretty good sort of crisp detail going on with that. We've got some landing gear just here as well. Again, flash looking good, which it should do for a new tool really. A bit more sort of detail going on inside the actual engine area. We've got our propeller just there, right, looking pretty good. Kind of nice how they've kind of got that sort of labeled as up, so you put it in, orientate it just right. Moving along, we have again some more, lots of internal detail. Right, as you can see, moving all the way along here, we've got our wheels, which are two halves coming together. Good hubcap detail going on with that. Looks like a bit more sort of engine detail just here. Nice to see them with all these, the ejector pin marks actually on these little tabs that you can cut off, so it's not on the piece. Right, working our way around, we've got some more surface detail. Again, same level, consistent throughout. Looking at this, it does look like you're going to be able to have like all your flaps and all that kind of stuff, ailerons sort of in, you know, a sort of movable position. Again, more detail, right, to go on the walls of the cockpit area. Loads of kind of little buttons and stuff, little hoses and rib work. We do have our instrument display panel just there, right, not bad detail going on with that. Flip it over and we do have some detail on the back there. Might kind of go off, do a bit of scratch building. You could sort of put some wires and hoses just to really jazz that up, because that might be on show. Seats, yes, they're looking a little bit plain, just as you can see there. And again, just loads of this detail framework that's going to be all the way around. Maybe this is the radio area, maybe, but loads of nice detail buttons and all that good stuff on there. So that is all the plastic, which is looking quite impressive actually. I mean, there's maybe the odd little eject pin mark maybe in a place or two, but not looking too bad. Now the decals are by Cartograph, which are a good decaling company, so we know they're going to work well with micro solid set, and we should have no problems with them at all. So there is our decals. We do have decaled instrument display panels just there. We could see all those dials and everything. The writing, you know, even the small writing does look readable. We do have like a satin finish. We'll have no problems with these. It does all look in registry. Colours look good. Should have no problems with them. Moving along with the instructions, well, we do get some nice coloured sort of printouts here of a couple of markings that we can do. We do have one just here. Again, not exactly, they're not all like same old, you know. I've got quite a few different markings to go through. This one's a little bit interesting. It's a camouflage trials aircraft, which has this kind of like snow stroke, two-tone green, dark green and earth. Kind of interesting, might be one to do. We do have another one just here, which is a training command, number 3 training command, so a bit of a training aircraft as well. Kind of cool, couple of nice 3 different markings. Maybe a bit overkill here just for like a rigging diagram, but I suppose it's quite nice and quite clearly, and should get you with where your rigging needs to go quite nicely. Now we get on to the actual building of this and what it all entails. So let's have a look. Typical Airfix, you know, bit of stats about the aircraft itself. Jump straight in, and we're going to be doing a lot of internal detail, cockpit detail, and all that good stuff. And as I say, there's a lot of glass, so you're going to be able to see inside here and see all this detail that we do. Looks like there's a lot of framework going on with this. You've got all your seats, all your bits of radio equipment. It does show you nicely where decals need to go as well. Does look like it's going to build up to a lot of internal detail. Now this is where it gets maybe a little, I mean, I've not built this, I will say I haven't built this, but looking at it at a bit of experience, potentially it's a bit open to a couple of fit issues. And I say this because it does kind of give you a note here to be careful how you put this together. But if I could just sort of show you, it's sort of like this area just here, it wants you to, gives you a tick to show, yes, there needs to be a little bit of a gap right there. and then across to say no, not too big a gap. Okay, fair enough. It's kind of basically saying don't leave a big enough gap and all this kind of stuff, but you know, how big of a gap are we talking here? I mean, I know we've got a picture to sort of show us, but I haven't sort of test fitted this to see, you know, to make sure how this kind of goes together. But there's this kind of weird thing going on about how big a gap needs to be. But you know what, it probably does go together quite nicely anyway, but I've just got a little bit of a concern that could be a problem. But as we move through, we've got all this rib work going on and all this internal detail. We bring our two fuselage halves together, which again it's saying port and starboard, be careful of this gap, how big it needs to be. But then we have this construction, you know, here, right here, it's all this rib work and all this open area. It's not a simple build where you get two fuselage halves together and you close them up and you've got this one nice easy seam line, join line to actually kind of like glue, fill, sand and scribe. What we have here is this fuselage section, but then we have this top part of the fuselage section, so it just creates lots more join lines and glue lines to potentially have gaps and steps and more to take care of, as well as more to go wrong. So this could be one of these builds where I might sort of recommend, you know what, to actually sort of put it together, the big pieces, you know, maybe use tape and pegs and F-clamps, that kind of stuff, just to kind of see how it goes together, see what kind of maybe potential fit issues, gap steps, and that way you could maybe sort of like just fine tune it with a bit of sanding, just to get rid of all those potential problems, because it is quite complicated and it could go south quite quickly if you just slightly don't align stuff, especially, you know, when we kind of look back at the instructions here where it's like this gap needs to be this and it needs to be aligned properly. I mean, they're actually kind of saying, you know, it is important to align these various areas. So yeah, as I say, just kind of do some nice test fitting. But yes, we've got all this kind of place ailerons and flaps and stuff that we can have in different positions. We do have what looks like to be quite a nice engine section with quite a nice bit of detail by the looks of it, so maybe you could do a bit of scratch building and have that on show. Here's the rest of the engine that goes in there as well. Not looking sort of too hard, although again it's kind of making it over complicating it in the sense that, you know, even the engine cowl, we've got two pieces coming together, again more join lines, more glue lines, more potential sort of problems with that. And then yes, we do come to all this glass, and this is what I'm on about. We're going to be able to see in here because we've got all this glass to be able to see in there. You know, there's so much of it. And it's one of them, if you like to kind of go to town with your cockpits, this is going to be a good one because you're going to actually be able to see in there. Because I mean, the amount of times we've gone off and, you know, done a fantastic cockpit, we bring it together and you can't see anything, but it does look like you're going to be able to see stuff in here. So yes, landing gear up or down, which the landing gear does look quite cool. And then we've got a nice little gun turret just there. And it's quite nice that we get to put that in last as well, because they can be a bit of a problem if they're kind of having to be glued in during all the spray stage. So nice to kind of put that in last, so that is good. So all in all, do you know what, it does look like a good kit. Surface detail does look fantastic. It's a nice brand new tool. I know I haven't built this, I just feel like the way it kind of goes together, looking at the instructions, I'm hoping there's no major fit issues, but I can kind of see that there could be. It's new, so not many people have built it, but fingers crossed it does go together well. So yeah, I do think it's definitely a big thumbs up, and definitely a well recommended kit if you wanted to go out and get one. Other than that, hopefully you have enjoyed this inbox review. So as always, until next time, my name is Bob Waldron, this is Genesis Models. I'll catch you later.